68 kilometers per second. That's how fast it was moving when we first saw it. A visitor from beyond our solar system, tearing through space at speeds that would circle the Earth in less than 10 minutes. We gave it a name: 3I Atlas. The third confirmed interstellar object ever detected by humanity. For months, astronomers around the world tracked its approach. Telescopes locked on. Data streams activated. This wasn't just another comet. This was a messenger from another star system, carrying secrets about worlds we may never reach. And then, just as it came close enough to reveal those secrets, it disappeared. October 2025. Solar conjunction. The object plunged behind the sun, vanishing into a wall of blinding light that no Earth-based telescope could penetrate. For weeks, we waited in darkness. The question that haunted every observatory on the planet was simple, terrifying, and unanswerable. Would 3I Atlas survive its journey through the furnace? Or would the sun devour it completely? But here's what the public didn't know. While Earth was blind, humanity wasn't. We had eyes scattered across the solar system, watching, waiting, recording. Our space-based sentinels began transmitting data. Stereo A, positioned at a unique vantage point millions of kilometers away. SOHO, our veteran solar observatory. GOES 19, monitoring the sun's fury from geostationary orbit. And what they saw was transformation. The images started coming in. Frame by frame, 3I Atlas was changing. Its brightness surged, not gradually, but explosively. The object that had appeared as a dim reddish speck now blazed with intensity. But it was the color shift that told the real story: red to blue. In the span of days, 3I Atlas metamorphosed from a dusty ember to a brilliant azure beacon. This wasn't just heating, this was combustion. The outer layers were burning away, exposing something beneath. Carbon monoxide ices, locked in ancient frost for billions of years, were now vaporizing in the solar inferno. The crust was peeling. Then came the Mars data, 019 astronomical units. That's how close 3I Atlas passed to the red planet, closer than Mercury orbits the Sun. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter attempted captures, though the images came through grainy, pixelated, fighting against distance and speed. But then, Perseverance delivered something extraordinary. From the rust-colored surface of Mars, a six-wheeled robot turned its cameras skyward and captured a single image. Faint, fleeting, historic. The first photograph of an interstellar object ever taken from the surface of another world. It was a dot, a smudge of light against the Martian dusk. But it was proof. Proof that 3I Atlas had survived the crucible. Proof that somewhere between the Sun and Mars, this ancient wanderer had endured temperatures that would vaporize steel. The visitor was still alive. But survival wasn't the only story making headlines. Across social media, through news outlets, in conference halls and comment sections, one name kept appearing: Professor Avi Loeb, a respected astrophysicist at Harvard with a controversial hypothesis. 3I Atlas, he suggested, might not be natural at all. The evidence he cited seemed compelling at first glance. A jet of material shooting not away from the sun, as expected, but toward it. A sunward jet, defying conventional comet behavior. Then there was the acceleration, a subtle but measurable push that couldn't be explained by gravity alone. Non-gravitational acceleration, the kind of thrust that, in theory, could come from a propulsion system. The implication was staggering. What if 3I Atlas wasn't a comet? What if it was a probe? A derelict spacecraft from a distant civilization, tumbling through our solar system like a message in a bottle hurled across an ocean of stars. The theory went viral. Alien technology in our solar system became the headline. The public imagination ignited. But science doesn't run on imagination. It runs on data. And the data was about to tell a very different story. Let's address the anomalies. The sunward jet? It's real, but it's not mysterious. When a comet's surface heats unevenly, localized pockets of ice vaporize and eject material. If that spot happens to face the sun, the jet appears to point sunward. It's geometry, not technology. The non-gravitational acceleration? That's called the rocket effect, and we've observed it in comets for decades. As ice turns to gas, it creates thrust, tiny, but measurable. The mass loss propels the object forward, altering its trajectory in ways that gravity alone can't explain. But the final nail in the alien tech hypothesis came from South Africa. The Meerkat radio telescope array, one of the most sensitive instruments on Earth, turned its dishes toward 3I Atlas and listened. And it heard something. Hydroxyl radicals. O molecules. The signature of water. Specifically, water being blasted apart by solar radiation. This wasn't a dry, metallic surface. This was ice. Ancient, pristine, extraterrestrial ice, boiling away in the heat of our sun. The 3I Atlas wasn't a spaceship. It was a comet. A natural, beautiful, impossibly ancient comet that had crossed the void between stars. But that's not the end of the story. Because what that comet is made of, that's where things get truly strange. For decades, astronomers believed that interstellar objects would be time capsules, pristine fragments from the birth of other solar systems, preserved in the deep freeze of interstellar space, untouched for billions of years. 3I Atlas just shattered that assumption. The spectroscopic data came back with something no one expected: carbon dioxide. Lots of it. A CO2 to water ratio of 7.6. To understand why that's shocking, consider this. In a typical solar system comet, that ratio is 0.12. 3I Atlas has 63 times more CO2 than it should. Something had cooked this comet long before it ever reached our sun. The culprit? Galactic cosmic rays. For billions of years, 3I Atlas drifted through the void between stars. And that void isn't empty. It's filled with radiation. High-energy particles, accelerated by supernovae and neutron stars, sleeting through space at nearly the speed of light. Grain by grain, molecule by molecule, this radiation bombarded the comet's surface. Chemical bonds broke. New compounds formed. Water ice was rearranged into carbon dioxide and other exotic molecules. Scientists estimate that the outer 15 to 20 meters of 3I Atlas has been completely transformed. A radiation-scorched crust, chemically distinct from the pristine core beneath. We aren't looking at an unaltered relic from another star. We're looking at damaged goods. A survivor that bears the scars of an unimaginable journey. And there's one more detail that makes 3I Atlas extraordinary. It contains metals, iron, nickel, elements you'd expect in asteroids, not comets. The spectrographic signatures were unmistakable. Somehow, this object formed in a system where rock and ice mixed in ways we don't see in our own cosmic neighborhood. It's a hybrid. A comet-asteroid chimera forged in the disk of an alien sun we will never identify, transformed by eons of cosmic radiation, and now passing through our solar system as both a ghost and a revelation. So here's what we know. 3I Atlas is not alien technology. It is something far more profound. It is alien nature. A fragment of another world, another time, another stellar nursery billions of kilometers away. It survived its close encounter with the sun. It survived the scrutiny of our instruments. and it gave us data that will reshape how we think about interstellar space. But its journey through our neighborhood isn't over yet. March 16th, 2026. Mark that date. 3I Atlas will pass within 640 million kilometers of Jupiter, close enough for NASA's Juno spacecraft to potentially capture one last glimpse. The gas giant's immense gravity will slingshot the visitor, accelerating it even faster as it heads back toward the outer darkness. And then, it will be gone. Within a few years, 3I Atlas will cross the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends and true interstellar space begins. It will rejoin the great cosmic ocean, drifting for another million years, perhaps another billion, until it encounters another star. Maybe that star will have planets. Maybe those planets will have astronomers. Maybe they'll see 3I Atlas streak through their skies and wonder, as we did, where it came from. Maybe they'll tell its story too. For now, this interstellar survivor has given us a gift. Proof that the space between stars is not empty, not dead, but filled with travelers carrying tales of distant suns. 3I Atlas came from somewhere we cannot name. It will go somewhere we cannot follow. But for a brief, brilliant moment, it was ours to witness. Subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our solar system and beyond.